What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of 99 Media. And today we are taking a road trip in the Tesla. We're going to see how well it performs. And as you can see, it's not the best of days. It's kind of cloudy and rainy, but it is what it is. And I used a better route planner to kind of plan out my route. And we are going about 800 miles round trip. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're so silly. She's so silly. But yeah, so we're gonna get ready, and yeah, in the meantime, you guys check out the details on the trip. Hey, and make sure you guys stick around for the end of the video where I kind of break down a little bit more of the details of this trip, how much it costs, the average the average watt hours per mile, and just my thoughts about the trip. So stay tuned. Thank you. So as you can see, we're going from Charlotte, North Carolina, down to Jacksonville, Florida. So as you can see, this is what the overall trip looks like. And so starting at the top, the trip's going to take about 7 hours and 14 minutes, approximately 413 miles. And out of that time, we'll be driving for about 6 hours and 31 minutes and charging for about 43 minutes, split up between 3 charging stations. So leaving our departure location, we're leaving at about 9 o'clock with 100% battery, or as close to 100% as possible. We should arrive at Orangeburg, South Carolina, about 11:15. After driving for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, driving about approximately 141 miles. Once we get to the Orangeburg Supercharger, we will roll in there with about 37%, and we will charge for about 7 minutes, get us up to about 57%. And then drive for about another hour and 36 minutes, approximately 104 miles, down to the Hardeeville Supercharger. And we're going to roll in there with about 10% and charge for about 18 minutes, up to about 68%. For people who are looking at this, debating whether they're going to get an EV or not, the reason and not sure why it charges so fast now. Hardeeville is probably a version 3 supercharger, which means you get 250 kilowatts per stall. The lower state of charge as you roll into a supercharger, the more of that 250 kilowatts you're going to use up to a certain point, then it's going to start to taper off. So that's why it charges so fast in 18 minutes, from 10% to 68%. So it says charge for about 18 minutes, and then we're going to leave there and drive for about another hour and 58 minutes, or 128 miles, down to the Yulee, Florida Supercharger. And we're going to roll in there with about 10%. Once again, we're going to charge for about 18 minutes, boost it up to about 67%. And then we have about a 41-minute or 39-mile drive to our final destination. And we should arrive with about 50% once we get there. So it is very important to me that, once I get to a location, I should have at least, between 50 and 65%. So I can at least drive around and do some stuff or whatever, what have you, personal preference. But this is why you use a better route planner in order to do this. So that way you can tailor it to your mind frame and how you decide to travel. And 3 stops doesn't look like a bad idea. You're driving about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes, an hour, almost 2 hours, pretty good timing to break up the trip and try kind of stretch your legs and get something to eat, drink, rehydrate, however. But yeah, so this is Future Down with the Deets, and sending you back to the video. You're ugly.
You're uglier.
Bye, buddy.
Bye, Daddy.
Alrighty, let's get this road trip on the show. Let's get this show on the road. That's what it is. All right, so we are going to Jacksonville. We have 3 stops essentially. I was not able to charge to 100%. Get that. 94. Yep. 94%, which means we have 244 miles. Oh, yep, there it is. So it says we're going to arrive there with 21%. I don't necessarily want to do that. I guess we could stop. We could follow this and then stop later once we get past Brunswick, or before Brunswick, one of the two. So, yep, with that, we're just going to get the show on the road.
We shot my friend out who from Brunswick.
Shout out to my wife's friend who doesn't want to be on camera. Who lives in Brunswick, or who's from Brunswick.
April.
April. Yes, April. April, if you're watching the video, we haven't seen you or your son in a while. Really missing her. But, all right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Let's get going. All right, we are 45 miles from our next destination, right outside of, well, are we in Columbia? In Columbia? We're in Columbia? Yes, no?
I would say the city limits in Columbia.
Okay, well, we're really close, or...
There it is right there.
Okay, we're in Columbia now.
Columbia City limits.
Yep, Columbia City. There's a sign for it. Yep, there you go. And, yeah, we're about 38 minutes out. Come on, work with me here. And we're supposed to get there with about 22%. Charge for about 25 minutes, but I'm going to go maybe about 5 minutes over that. And that's weird. And the drive has been pretty cool. The car has told us that we've been preconditioning a couple times, and that's the benefit of driving an electric vehicle and navigating directly to a supercharger. The battery gets all warm, ready to accept as much energy as possible, so then it charges as quickly as possible so we can get back on the road and keep going. And as you can see, the day is pretty gloomy, but it hasn't been too bad. And then here in the last charge, well, our odometer, we're averaging about 310 watt hours per mile for about 101 miles, and we've used about 32 kilowatt hours so far. 310 is not too bad, especially seeing as how we have a performance model. Of course, if we had like a standard range or a long range model with the aero wheels, it would be a little bit more efficient, but hey, it is what it is. The car is awesome. Ain't that right, boo?
Yes.
You sure you don't want to be in here?
Not right now.
Your leg's in it. Look at
My
that.
calf.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. But yeah, just wanted to check in. We'll probably check in again once we get to the Supercharger and give you a view and tour.
I just don't trust this area. I just feel like I want to throw the food in the trash.
Jeez. All right, this is a V3 Supercharger. As you can see by the amount of miles per hour we're charging, V3s give you about 1,000, and we're at 237 kilowatts. It's probably gonna go up and down for a little bit. And we got 20 minutes to charge, so we got some Zaxby's. Yeah, so we will get back with you guys as soon as
60 cents.
What? Oh, you're so silly. But yeah, it's a gas station called Spinks. Never heard of it before. Pretty neat. Spinks. And yeah, this is the Supercharger.
In Orangeburg, South Carolina.
In Orangeburg, South Carolina, just as she said. Yep. A lot of decent food around. Not according to my wife, but yeah, that's fine. So yeah, we get to charge here for about another 20 minutes, and then we're heading out. But like I said, I'll probably charge for another 25, maybe 5-10 minutes over that. Orangeburg Superchargers came out of the the gas station to the car. Looking at 2D. The funny thing is, coming up, I was trying to remember all the etiquette stuff and make sure I didn't park next to somebody who was already charging. But these are V3s, so doesn't matter. And let's check to see where's we at. Where we at, Bill?
I'm going to take a nap.
You gonna take a nap? We getting ready to go. Yeah, we getting ready to go. We got enough to continue the trip, but I'm gonna eat real quick. So we got enough to continue. We got 30 minutes to charge limit, but I'm not gonna stay here that long. We're at 77%. So yeah, with that, we should arrive at Hardeeville, South Carolina with 27%. And like I said, I'm gonna eat and then we're gonna continue on. Hey, beautiful.
I'm asleep, dog. What?
Whatever. Silly. All right, so we're at the Hardeeville Supercharger.
Thanks to me.
Yeah, thanks to her. There was some traffic on I-95 by exit 5, but we were in traffic for so long. Wanted you guys to see me, but we were in traffic for so long that it said that we could have skipped this one, but because it was already planned out, I just decided, well, it was suggested by my wife that we should probably just stop anyway.
Yep.
That traffic ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be there as soon as we get back on, so
Sure is.
might as well go ahead and charge now.
Who
And
gonna bring us gas?
whatever.
You gonna get me stuck on the side of the road?
Whatever, lady. But yeah, so we just decided to stop and just go ahead and top off. And
Top off. It's charging. Not liquid.
I'm gonna put you out. You about to get put out. Anyway, this is, I think, a version 2 Supercharger. Unfortunately, there weren't like enough stalls. I had to be that guy and pull up to somebody else and cut their charging time in whatever percentage. But you know, this is a version 2, so as you can see, we're getting 521 miles an hour at 137 kilowatts. If it was 250, that means we would be at a version 3 Supercharger. So as you can see, this is just a version 2.
It's just a slow charger.
Yeah. So since our last stop, we've gone 105.4 miles, used 31 kilowatts at 292 watt hours per mile, which is awesome because as you can see, the day is clearing up. So we weren't fighting against rain, wind, or anything else. So, you know, we were able to get better efficiency off of this leg of the trip. Neat. All these cars here charging. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Hey, beautiful. How you doing, beautiful? She's finally on camera, guys. As pretty as she want to be. Look at her. She just pretty much take me a picture. Road tripping with the wife. Road tripping. It is not the best place, at least behind the gas station. And everybody's here jumped out their cars with dogs. Feel like I'm missing out, but I'm not ready for a dog yet. Look at that. Look at that dog. He won't even want to go pee. You want a dog, boo?
Nope.
Why not?
I don't feel like keeping up with no dog.
You don't feel like caring for no dog?
Yeah, I'm on that's a new one.
No. That's old one. P85.
Yeah, what?
P85D.
P85.
P85. And everybody that we've seen have had North Carolina tags. That's a P85D. Leaving South Carolina. So is there like a state in between that sign and the next sign? Like a demilitarized zone?
You're in Georgia.
I mean, we haven't hit it yet, so I don't know that I'm actually in Georgia.
Just because they didn't put the sign there don't mean the border, just there's no state in between.
Well, tell North Korea and South Korea that. Dude. Didn't Justin Bieber say he gets peaches from here?
Yeah. Oh, that's, I can't remember how that song goes.
Made it to Florida. Made it to Florida. Ford over there. Yeah, y'all see the ring? Yeah.
So you see the what?
The ring. And you see the wife.
Oh, I'm eating. See, you made me drop my snack.
Uh-oh. Before I get demonetized. I wanted to stop at the Yulee Supercharger and charge up a good bit, so that way we have range for in the morning, so we can just head straight to our destination and be able to head out from there. Check in with you guys. Oh, currently at 302 watt hours a mile. Did 119 miles on this leg, hour and 38 minutes. And I'll check in once we get to the destination. It's not focusing. All right, made it to Yulee. My wife's putting her chips up.
Don't put the brand, you know. I ain't promoting. They ain't paying me.
And this should be a V3 Supercharger as well. So let's just check it out. Oh Lord. So one of the things I love about this, instead of gas, you just take the thing out, tap the back light for good luck, press the button, plug it in, wait for it to turn green, call it a day. All right, now we're here. It says we only need to charge for 4 minutes, but like I said, I'm going to charge it up a little bit longer than that. And we are ramping up. Probably not going to give us the full because we're rolling in here with 30%, but had we ran in here with maybe less than 20%, it probably would have gave us the full. But I mean, this is good nonetheless. So I'm interested to see how long or how much charge it's going to give us to continue going. But yeah, like I said, I just want to get there and make sure I have at least 50%, Now I'll call it a day. But we rolled in here with 128 miles in about an hour and 50 minutes and 302 watt hours per mile, which is pretty good. And I am missing some miles on here because I forgot to reset, but I will add that in here. And it's nothing but an average, so at each stop just add all of them and then divide by how many stops we took. So but ask the wife how she's feeling about the trip so far.
Put me on. It's fun.
It's fun?
I'm just enjoying talking to my husband in the car.
Okay.
Look at those people. Did they hop up the mountains?
I don't know. Could have. I'm being real stalkers right now.
I put the people on. I'm glad you're going to edit that out.
But yeah, so how's this trip compared to driving like a gas car?
It's nice.
Uh-huh. And she's the daily driver of this car, so that's why I'm asking her. Normally she hasn't seen a gas, she hasn't touched a gas pump in years anyway.
But it's different because I'm not just going to work. It's like a longer ride.
And that's why I wanted to ask you, because you don't necessarily like sitting in a car for a long time, and just wanted to get your opinion from somebody who does not like being in
a car. Yeah, I'm trying to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I keep looking at the time at the bottom, like, okay, how long before we get there?
Well, lucky for you, we are
not far.
Yeah, like 40 minutes away.
Yeah, I know once we passed Brunswick, we weren't too far from Jacksonville, because April always talks about
Yeah.
But I like some nice, good eating places around here.
Yeah, you got Añejo or whatever. All right. We are at the point now we should arrive there with 54%. So I'm okay with that. So what I'm going to do now is go back to the charging menu and hit stop charging.
All right, so for you guys watching the video, we did make it to our destination. It's just we got there kind of late. We were just tired. Once we got there, we just got something to eat and spent time with family, talking, having a good time, and went to sleep. So here I am, here to give you guys the details on the first half of this trip. So we had 3 stops. You guys already saw how many miles we were traveling, so I'm not going to go over that. But so we used essentially 311 watt hours per mile on the first leg, 292 on the second, and 302 on the third. Averaging that out, that comes out to about 301 watt hours per mile average, which was pretty much what I thought was going to happen anyway. 300 watt hours per mile on a highway, doing 70, 80 miles an hour where I could, driving it kind of like a normal car. I didn't baby it. I didn't, keep it too much under the speed limit. I drove it like I would drive any gas car, honestly. So it wasn't bad at all. It was pretty good. And then the cost for the charging stops averaged out to be about, or not average, totaled out to be about $33.21, which is pretty good. I'm not one of those YouTubers that has like thousands of miles of supercharging. We got the car after Tesla did away with the referral miles and the free supercharging miles. So this isn't this trip was free for me, and no, it's not that. It's just to show you guys the practicality of actually driving it, and you know, a lot of people are going to look at this, and I'll admit it's not like 50%, you know, less than how much it would cost in gas, but this is about what I thought it would be. I mean, it is less, but you know, it would have cost slightly more on my Traverse to do this trip, which for me, the Tesla was definitely a buy for driving around town. So the savings that we get from driving in and around Charlotte is where our savings come in. So that's where driving this makes sense for us, because as much as I save at home and in and around town, because we don't take trips like this very, very often, so we save a lot just driving around town. But yeah, so, and then on average, it costs us about $11.07 per stop to charge. And like I said, it probably would have cost less, but I wanted to stay at the charges a little bit longer because I wanted a certain amount of percentage when I got to my destination. But compared to gas, I'm an adventure nut, so for me, this was a really good adventure and a nice change of pace from getting in the car and driving 300-400 miles straight and just trying to get there. It's a little bit more relaxing, and the fact that we have autopilot is great because it takes the fatigue out of driving. Many stretches throughout this drive, I was able to put on autopilot and kind of relax a little bit, but still be attentive to the road, what was going on. Had great conversations with the wife, and so this was pretty good for us. So that's pretty much it for this part of the video. Tune in for part 2. I was not able to throw the drone up, give you guys some good B-roll, which I normally would, because you know, at first, the first couple legs, it was kind of raining and spotty as far as whether it was raining or not. And then by that last one, by the Yulee Supercharger, we were so close. It was like, all right, let's just get there. So in part 2, I promise to give you guys that B-roll, that great B-roll that I normally give you. So please stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next video.